She's only up 10 CS, and MF has been promo roaming. Like, what? Oh no, not another 4 people bot lane. Yay, so fun.
John, you sound like you have so much fun playing this game.
John's about to D rank after that game.
God, let me just scroll up, I guess, first. So I think the main goal was first establishing, like the sort of like establishing and reestablishing the chat pool thing too. Like looking at the first sheet, you know, started not saying like scrap the whole thing and start it over, but like to some extent, right? Because like obviously some of those things are not accurate. I don't think we are super confident in like, okay, for Corey's pool, like Cassiopeia top or Fiora top, it's probably good, but it's probably not something we as a team are super ready to pick. For Ken's thing, I know at one point this was good, but like I think Akali was like scrapped for you, from yourself. You said. Everything else is probably honestly fine. I can't say that I've ever seen you play like Sylas.
I'm so fine on that.
I know you play it, but I just in
like,
scrims I've never really seen it.
Oh yeah, I've played some games.
Anyways, so the one thing I want to get is like I was saying before, having like a almost like a tier list in a sense, but like a these are champions you need to know, and it's not like you need to learn every single one of them, but it's like you need to be able to play like at least half of the champions or more. And let's say like random champions, like it's like for mid lane, Talon, Zed, Kiana, Diana, Fizz, and then like Syndra, Ori. Like it wouldn't do any good if you just knew Talon, Kiana, and Zed. Like if you just knew 380 assassins. Like you need to be able to cover certain, I guess.
Whispering Lullaby from
whatever. That's not to say you need to be able to play every type of mid laner. Like you don't need to be able to play Enchanter's mid. You don't need to be able to play, 80 Bruisers mid. But we just need to cover like a certain range, I guess. Like if we need to engage and support's already locked in, Corey needs to be able to pick an engaging champion. Like we need to be able to say, yeah, we can pick Malphite this game. Jungle's the same thing. Like because jungle, like we've talked about many times, jungle's the most flexible role. That and support, but probably more so jungle because jungle can flex to literally every single like champion class in the entire game. That said, that gives us to our next point, where, dude, the headache is just crazy. Where we want to, or touching back on the thing we talked about before, and because Ken, this is directed at you because I know you were upset over it or whatever. The next day, upset or tilted or whatever you want to phrase it as, bothered. What was not, or what was said, was not that you're locked into 2 champions to learn comms. What was said was we establish like a solid comp, make sure it's well rounded, and then you can slot things in and out. And for example, we have this champion, this champion, this champion, blah 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 blah. You're not locked into doing anything to learn comms. The whole point of that whole conversation was that we learn comms as we learn everything else. Like while we're talking about, warding better. Well, to ward better, you need better comms. Tony has to say, 80 carries on reset, and I don't have a reason to go back, so I need to get vision down. Jungler, leave your golems and come with me instead. Give up a camp and we can get vision down together. Comms are something that are going to develop over time. Now, I might point out your guys' comms are really bad in this game. Make sure you guys are, keeping stuff flowing next game. But it's like the more you learn about the league, the better your comms can be overall. Like if you don't know what the hell you're doing mid lane in terms of wave management or when you're going to recall or anything like that, then you're not going to have anything to communicate. As you get better at knowing those things, you're going to have a lot more to even say in the first place. And that goes for all roles, obviously. Mid lane is just the example in this. It's like for top lane too. Like if top lane, like okay, I ran into this last night with the new team I'm coaching. They wanted to late invade whenever they had Olaf jungle and Shen top. The enemy team had Lilia jungle and Urgot top. You never late invade as Olaf in that comp. You always path top for level 3 and gank Urgot because Urgot has to push lane, right? And that should have been communicated at 1 second into the game, right away. we're just going to establish our 5 point. I'm going to take my camps because you cannot lose 2v2. Shin Olaf cannot lose 2v2 to Lilia Urgot. But if you don't gank the Urgot, Shin cannot play the game early.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, like the better you are at your individual roles, the better you will get at communication. That's what the point was with that. You were never told you're locked into 2 champions ever. That's never been a thing. The one thing I said was if your team picks super one-dimensional champions like Zoe, like Lucian, like Olaf, like whatever, you can do those things, but they're much harder to execute. And if we're at a point where we're not even working on it as a whole team, there's no reason for one person to do it individually. Or if you have a comp that's trying to do all one thing and then one champion that's just doing one random other thing, that's not going to work. So say we want to play Zoe. If you want to play Zoe, then the rest of your team has to be able to do certain functions too. Like, I don't think I would ever want a comp where it's like, I don't know, Corion whatever top lane, and then you have Olaf jungle, Zoe mid lane, and your support is something like Karma or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't have anything to tie your whole comp together. Karma's there to like win lane and speed everybody up. Olaf is going to enjoy the movement speed if he's 10-0, but if Olaf is useless and top lane isn't playing a carry, then John is forced to like 1v9 that game, and if you hit a bubble, you can kill a champion. So let's say you have instead like Jarvan jungle with Zoe. That's a little bit more of a well-rounded comp. My point was that you have to have stuff be super, super well-rounded. And if you're taking away from mid lane, if you're taking away consistency and well-roundedness, then it needs to be added somewhere else. So don't worry, you're not locked into any champion.
Okay.
Now, if you consistently play this champion and you get fed every single time, but your team keeps on losing, we can either... No, I mean, there's 2 choices. We either figure out what's wrong and, try to work it out and make it work, or we just drop it until a later date. And I don't know, I don't know what champion would even fit that. I'm just giving an example. But if that's something that you guys see happening in terms of like a record, like, well, I am literally up 30 CS average, I solo kill in half my games, but I still am losing every single time, well, either the champion is shit or your team is shit at working with it. So that's all. That's all that basically is. So and that goes for, obviously, Dibble and Tony aren't here, but that goes for them too. Nobody's locked into anything. I'm not so, I guess, close-minded that it's like, these champions are off limits and banned. But I will tell you whenever something is inconsistent or I don't think something's as good. Or I think something does something better. Like, I think Tank Gragas top is horrible. I think it's just so bad. I think if you're playing Gragas and you're not full AP able to one-shot someone, then other champions do your job better. Because there's other tanks that disrupt and engage way, way better than just Gragas does.
Mm.
Anyways, all of that said, we can move on to like the champion list. And this is something where people can like add in, their own suggestions or whatever they think, or ask questions or whatever. I'm not going to sit here and list like 50 champions for every role, but I don't even know if I said this in team chat or if I said this to Corey and DMs, but the thing about like the tier list, right? It's like, we have really, really OP top laners, right? Then you have like the things that you could pick up that aren't mandatory. Like I think like Trundle and Mordekaiser are top laners that aren't mandatory, but they're really solid picks that you can pick up. And then in like third tier of picks, we have things that would be complete pocket picks. Like it's like you're probably not going to see anybody else ever use it, but it's really good counter to certain meta things. It's kind of hard to find for like AD carry, right? Like AD carry, it's like, okay, well, they picked that person with a gun, I'm going to pick this person with a gun. Like, that's it. But the exception of if you can play Swain. Swain is like an insanely broken carry, and he also counters every single meta AD carry.
Really? Even Tristana?
Yes. Swain hard counters Tristana, Kai'Sa, Jinx, Vayne, to a degree Caitlyn, Jhin. I can't think of a bad lane for Swain. Other than Swain, there's also Karthus, right? Karthus is pretty good against at least Jhin, Kai'Sa, Caitlyn. Not so much Asher Vayne. I think he beats Jinx too. And so, anyways, but my point is like with other lanes, like I was using top lane's a really easy one to go with this because there's so many champions that are actually played top lane that are like, I guess, like they are mainly played top lane, but they're not meta picks at all. Stuff like Teemo, stuff like Tryndamere.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like things like that, you can easily make that work in amateur. It's really annoying to play against either one of those champions if you get a good matchup for it. Like if you know that they literally cannot play the game in this matchup if you take Teemo, then you take Teemo and you're a side lane menace, right? And in other lanes, again, you probably have something like that to some degree. So that's like a. I mean, I can make suggestions on that, but that has to be that is largely like just champs you enjoy playing, something that you would pick as a pocket pick. So with all that said, we can start sort of setting this up. The second page on this,
Knock off the door.
So
and
the 883 is.
yeah, the second 883. I'm really bad with docs, so I think I'll leave that to Corey because he's like a business professional. He's probably good at that stuff.
Ooh. What?
No.
Who? What's happening? I heard
Yeah,
everything.
Corey be changed to
Okay,
the
let's
cheese.
build everything that is not Discord and OBS because I am going to DC randomly.
That's good. Okay,
Oh.
what is this color? Color
I guess I don't have
orange
any-
2. Okay, changes to be somewhat uniform. Sick. So we can sort of go. Oh, man, this is just scuffed. I feel like this has to be bigger. You know what? It will be bigger. We'll do section 1, light blue. Section 2 can be this red cream color. Section 3 can be perfect. This looks like one of those identity flags. Not sure which one, but it looks like one. So we'll just start listing on. Okay, why is this one like black? Like, why is it like highlighted or outlined or something?
I don't know how I did that, but I fucked it up and I didn't know how to fix it.
Wait, where's
Whatever.
the doc?
Huh? It's the Anarchy Teal Champion pool.
Oh, I thought we were making a new one.
It's just a second sheet on it.
Okay.
And so, okay, for the meta picks, I'm sure we could go over like a ton, and the blue section probably needs to be a lot longer. The main thing I want to focus on is, for now, is the second and third ones, honestly. The second one being like counters that we know are good and that we can pick into certain things. So, for example, the two that I already had picked out for Corey are like Trundle and Mordekaiser. Like, those are two champions that I think are super, 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 super good to have in the back pocket because of how good they are into tanks top lane. Especially because Mord's being buffed again, apparently, somebody said.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I have to write on that, I guess,
He's
tonight. I
getting
don't
buffed
know
again?
what. Yeah, apparently he's being, Wait, he's not on the change list? Oh, it's a Mordekaiser jungle thing. Never mind.
Oh, yeah. it is.
Although, his passive refreshes on, stacks and refreshes on monsters. All monsters, so maybe it is good. But whatever, either way.
What's the blue gonna be?
The what?
The blue.
Oh, the blue is that's gonna be like S tier champ, like champs that you should know, like that you should have a really good grasp on most of them.
No, I meant
So
like the
that's-
darker blue. Is it the same thing or?
Oh yeah, it's supposed to be the same thing.
Okay.
I don't know which one it is though. Is it this?
You got it.
That's weird. It was darker, but it was the lighter blue in the color palette. That's weird. Okay, so anyways, so I mean I don't know if you guys have anything that you want to bring up first as far as like pocket picks or counters or things like that you have, like things that you think you can make work. Like again, like
Morgana
John,
is a
if
good
you
one. I like Morgana.
Say that?
Into, Morgana into LeBlanc and AP melee assassins. I mean,
okay, so right away we have Morgana.
It's really good, especially into LeBlanc. Just shits on
And
LeBlanc.
we can maybe like make these like does this work? Can I grab this whole ass thing and just move it over? I can.
I feel like Galio should be more meta, but like it isn't. So I'm not really sure. Like if I should.
I think we could consider it just like a solid like should know. I think Galio is really what the cheese.
Oh no, I meant for like a champ to pick into it. But honestly, no, it's not worth putting down.
Over me Google Docs is just so cringe. They should never have invented technology like this. Okay. It's just so hard to wield.
Wield? Interesting.
I can't pilot
Yeah.
this ship.
How do you get rid of these fucking black lines?
Yeah, they're just yours. Enjoy. Okay, so like Ken wants Morg. Morg is good in 2,
AP melee.
AP melee, and LeBlanc.
Well, it's kind of AP melee.
I'm gonna.
Figured it out.
Oh my gosh, what'd you do? Control Z. Control Z summoner. There you go.
I wanted to merge horizontally, and I just merged all.
Just merged the entire document.
Yeah, engulf, consume. Okay, I'm gonna keep on formatting, and then we can, just give reasoning and whatnot with things to some degree. So like, for Corey, we said Trundle into tanks. Morgana is into. Because we just want to be able to have like answers to everything, right? We should never get to a point in a draft where you guys are like, oh, now what? Because they took, this champion, we don't have an answer for it. Like if they ever lock in Quinn top, right away you should know, like, okay, Malphite's the number 1 best pick, no matter what, into that. But if Malphite's banned, then we have Scion. Cho might still be good. And if all else fails, like I said before, and I'm not telling you to prepare this, but it's like if this wasn't in your pocket, if they ever take 80 carries in a solo lane, you just select Teemo. Because what 80 carries have to do, they have to do well because they only do damage. They don't do anything for their team. So if you have like a hard counter to an 80 carry in lane, like not just you outscale, but just in lane a hard counter, then they can never ever be useful. So starting off by listing Malf, like right for top lane, Maokai, Ornn. Just the meta top laners. Do we consider
Ornn.
is Wukong considered meta? I mean, he's really really OP, but I feel like he's really OP, but at the same time super underplayed, underpicked.
Yeah, it's like Galio.
I think Wu is tier 2. I think we put Wu in the tier 2 of like we could really like use this in certain instances.
What are you guys on?
John, go to
Send it
records
to you,
and
John.
then champion pool.
I am in champion pool.
Go to the second
But-
sheet. Go look at the
Yeah,
bottom
the
and
second sheet.
XEE3E.
Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. Okay, I didn't even see that. Appreciate
You
it.
lost that game and didn't demote?
Yeah, I'm a beast. I know.
What the
Yeah,
I will
actually,
never
not
go back to
Linux.
platinum.
You're like fucking borderline platinum right now, dude.
You might as
Mm-mm,
well be
mm-mm.
plat.
Seven-
What
seven
is
I will
game
never
win
go
this?
streak.
back. I will never go back.
Did you have
7 game win
another
streak,
4 and 17 Caitlyn game? I'm not crazy, right? You had 2 of these. Caitlyn.
You know
You
how
have had-
unplayable it is. when
Okay,
get promo
you have
camp?
had more than 2 of these. You have had multiple. 4 and 13,
Dude,
0 and 10, 5
just
and
look at
10,
their
1
team
and
comp.
9, 4
Just look
17.
at their team
We
comp.
are never putting you on Caitlyn.
Talon Kane, bro. Just perma
Oh
camp.
my gosh. Is this legal?
What do you even do?
Oh my gosh.
Wait, is Jean being flamed for his last solo queue game?
Oh, actually,
No,
there's
it's,
a lot
I'm
of
just looking at his Caitlyn stats. It's crazy. It's surreal. You have Gale Force Collector in one game. Wait,
Yeah, he was like trying to like EQ Gale Force to cancel the E.
oh
Yeah.
my God.
He watches a lot of Saber.
That's a lot of Saber.
That's why he was getting Man Immune 4th. Because according to Saber, well, actually, you guys should know that Man Immune is her 4th best item.
Mm.
Makes your ulti do 1300 damage.
4th best item. How,
Best
how are
4th
you
item.
ever
Shut the
gonna
fuck
get-
up, idiot.
Yeah, how are you ever gonna get it?
Yeah, whenever you can buy talent as that, how can you?
Yeah, you need
Mhm.
just farm better and get more
Okay.
kills.
So for the list, like we go through and we want to list like a few of the really OP things in every single class. Like right away, top lane, we have our 3 tanks down. Then like bruisers, like what are the best bruisers? Fuck, I don't know. Like
Renekton. No.
yeah, Renekton's like really solid. Gnar
They nerfed
isn't
it.
nerfed yet, right? Or did they even nerf him and it just didn't even
it's-
matter?
The nerf that they're coming out with isn't really that big at all.
Let's see, W movement speed. Huh? Wait, what's... Oh, it's nerfed early. Okay,
Yeah.
but it's actually buffed late. Okay, well
yeah,
whatever.
it's not bad.
That's like not a that's like not a real nerf. So then like Gnar, Renekton, Urgot, Camille,
Volibear.
I
What
don't
about
know.
Riven?
Like whatever else. And again, these aren't like things you need to play. It's just listing like some of the really strong picks that you could be playing.
Otto, do you think Aurelia mid is really strong? I think he like counter picks like every mid in the game. If
Maybe
he-
put it as like a second tier, like
Okay.
you know, like things we could like the first tier needs to be things that are like core to team comps. Like good teams probably have players that can play these, at least some of these. The second one is like, you know, good counters, still really solid picks, but they're like not like first pickable or blindable or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, that
Um,
makes sense.
Now that said, you could easily be like, okay, well maybe Victor's not the most blindable, but at the same time he kind of is. You know what I mean? You want something that's going to be useful no matter what.
Okay.
Um,
Where would I put Yon?
for in the first tier because he's just
Okay.
OP in general. And then Lucian again, stuff like Lucian. Lucian is OP situationally, but it's so conditional. But we can still put that in tier 1. I mean, Lucian is extremely usable if the team plays it perfectly.
Mm-hmm. I can also do that to Zoe.
Leto,
Okay.
would you prefer for, or oh, actually no, go for
Can I
it.
do that for LeBlanc
Choose
too?
one.
Like in tier 1, or should she be tier 2?
I think she's tier 2 as a champion as a whole. Like as a whole, the champion is pretty much tier 2.
If she's getting
Like she's like,
buffed,
we could make it
it's-
work in certain situations. Yeah, volley's good for top.
Monsu can LeBlanc if the matchup.
Oh, Yorick. Yorick is definitely like really OP. I think. I
Dude,
think he goes in that
Yorick's
first tier.
mid lane, like as soon as he gets fucking Trinity Force, he's just unkillable.
Wait, he's getting nerfed again. He's getting nerfed though.
Good.
Yeah, it is pretty decent nerf. It's true.
Cause it's just OP because they broke it. They actually broke it.
They're nerfing Mistwalkers a little bit. They're immediately reverting the E change. It's not instant, but they overall buffed it. No. Oh well, I guess not. If you have like a full stack of them,
Yeah.
they're really not. They're not like really hard nerfing. They're not reverting the buffs they gave him. He's still really strong.
So he's broken.
Yeah, Yorick is a really good pick. He was good before, and he's gonna be stronger than he was before.
It's so dumb
That's
because like those
way
little
to look at it.
ghosties, those little ghouls, like they do so much damage.
Yeah.
Yep. And they don't die unless you kill them.
Yeah. I mean, there should be some sort of counterplay, right? Like add a timer or something.
Should be.
No. Oh, can I put Rise here?
Rise goes in tier 1.
Okay, thought so. That's the one I was forgetting. Okay, that's everything. Oh wait, Silas.
Leto,
And then
do
AD.
you, do
What
you
about
prefer for
Silas?
bot lane?
Do you think that he can work in general? Like, do you think he's well-rounded enough to put in the first tier, basically? If so, then yes. The first, again, going back like to our definition of the first one, they have to be strong picks, and they also have to be somewhat good in general. That's sort of like why LeBlanc doesn't really work. She's not just good in general. Not right now, anyways. And what'd you say, John?
Is it preferred to have like what's it called, synergy bot lane, or
Um,
would you rather just have like stuff that can appeal to like a team fight or something like that?
just the general good. You know what I mean? Like, we can still have like certain AD carries. Like, okay, let's say Lucian bot lane. Lucian bot lane is probably only really good if you have a really aggressive support, specifically like Braum, right? Like Braum Lucian's really OP.
Yeah.
So Lucian's probably always going to be a red tier for AD carry.
Okay.
Like the best AD carries need to be just like AD carry is going to be the most the most boring thing on this spreadsheet as far as like picking the tier 1 champions, because it's literally basically going to be like what the most meta picks are: Jinx, Jhin, Tristana, Vayne, Samira.
I like Jinx a lot right now because she's actually pretty strong.
Yeah, I think she's the best right now. I think Twitch is more is a red tier. I think
Twitch is garbage.
yeah, I think he's like red tier, and it's like you have to work so hard to make him work, and then even if you do, it's like tough.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of this is going to be like the last tier, like the things we can make work. If you're interested in learning like mages bot lane, I mean obviously Seraphine and Karma are there, but there's like Vhagar, Swain, and Karthus. Those are like your 3 mage bot laners that work.
I'll definitely
Ziggs
try
is
to
like
play
a
more
fourth
Swain.
option, but
I'll
say that
definitely
again.
I'll definitely try to play more Swain. I don't really think I like the only mages I like bot lane like that I feel comfortable with would be like Cassiopeia or like Victor.
Six.
I never really played Ziggs, so it's like I played an Aram. He has a lot of wave clear, but like I feel like I miss all the skill shots. So it's like, what's the point of even playing Ziggs?
True.
That's true.
So something easier like Cassiopeia or like Victor. Syndra 2 is not that hard.
Yeah, it's just some of them are a little bit like Syndra now. Bot lane is just so much weaker than it was. She worked before pretty well because she can keep up with 80 carries and trading, but her early trading is so much weaker now that it's pretty tough.
Okay.
But it's still like a potential. Like if we ever wanted to give Ken such an amazing matchup just for the sake of doing it, we could bait like a Syndra blind pick and then bait them to counter, and then Ken can counter pick.
Oh, true.
And that's sort of what you use flex picks for, right? So that said, our supports, I can start filling those out for Tony too. Like Thresh, Leona.
Nautilus I see is pretty good too.
Lulu. Seraphine, I think, is still pretty
Okay,
up
Laf.
there. What the hell does that mean?
Every time we get Seraphine, we just add scrims. I don't know. Champs curse for us.
True.
And all flex picks can go in like the red if they're not something that you primarily play. Like for example, if Corey did not main Volibear would just be in the red. But since you main it, it's fine to keep it in the blue. Probably same thing with Lucian for 80 carry.
Where would
Okay.
Akali go?
Akali, probably in the red for both of you. Like, could learn it.
So red is could learn.
I'm sorry, not could learn. Sorry. Could use in comps. It's like could use. It either has a specific use or it's like
Then what
it's
is
strong,
green?
but it's not super meta. You know what I mean? Like Zillion middle or support. Zillion middle and support aren't necessarily counter picks to anything, but they are niche and they have good synergies with other champions. Like you would pick it with a certain combo, or you would just pick it to have a general comp going. Like you would pick Zillion if you have a Hecarim jungle or a Kindred jungle or an Olaf or something like that.
So I could put Karma in the red, right?
Yeah, exactly. Karma would be red for blue because she's not OP anymore top lane, but she's definitely viable.
What would green be?
Green is like we can. It's like pocket picks or something like that. Like I was explaining before, it's like the top lane Tryndamere and Teemo. They are not at all meta. They don't at all fit into regular comps. But something you could play in the role that, even though it's not meta,
Situational.
it's just like a really specific counter to a certain champion or a certain team comp or something like that.
Okay.
Like let's say that would be like Trundle kind of top lane. Trundle could be either in the red or the green, I guess, because it's not a meta top laner. I think he's really strong. I think he's sleeper OP. That's what I think about Trundle. I think he's sleeper OP. I still would say he's probably more in the red tier though because of that. I think he's solid enough of a pick to put him in red. But anyways, green is like this is not at all meta. And again, 80 carry probably doesn't have a whole lot that really fits in there. You might like for you, green and red are almost the exact same. But it's like Draven's definitely probably more green tier, you know what I mean? Like he's not at all meta. He's like we need to shit stomp their bot lane, so we're gonna pick this and we're just gonna L9. Like we're down 0-2 in this best of 5. We're not gonna win. Ken's been muted for 2 games. Tony's like smoking a blunt, like on call with cam on. You heard Corey's girlfriend. Corey's girlfriend walked in and offered him brownies, and you heard him throw the plate to the ground. Like it's real bad. Dibble booked his last flight to Vegas. He's gonna go gamble all the way.
We're just down horrendous.
Yeah, we're down horrendous. It's not even bad. This is like Astro down. Yeah. So Yeah, exactly. Last resort. And so then there's like things, you know,
Choking a blood.
like okay, and like for example, like poke build Varus, like that's probably green tier. Like if you were to like do something like that, like it's just so specific. Like you realize we're never gonna win 5v5, but they also don't have engage. Like they took double 80 carry and you know, yeah. If you know, you know.
Ult bot. I see.
I'm pretty sure that's all the ADCs, right? Actually Aphelios. Yeah, put that down here. Yeah, only pick Aphelios if all ADCs are banned.
I mean, you're laughing, but that's actually the pick condition. Like, no, seriously. Like, they have to have 15 bans on their team for us to pick Aphelios. Dude.
Yeah, no, that
I
can't
think
be
Ash
right.
goes in red, and
Oh, red?
Ash and Sivir probably go red. Yeah. Kog'Maw is like kind of like Draven in the sense where it's like, okay, well, we need like a 1v9 champion because there's probably other hyper carries, but I think Ash and Sivir go in the red because it's
Does
like
that say bannable?
they're situational, but they're not. What? Oh yeah, probably.
Yes, it's bannable.
Okay. So
Is it poke specific, or are you talking about like ADC, like crit Sipper goes in red?
either one
Or just
honestly, because Sivir's meta, right? Like she's sort of meta, but she's just not like so OP in core. Like that makes her like red tier, I guess.
I feel like Lissandra doesn't do enough damage.
Who?
Lissandra.
She's only good if you get like resets, basically.
Yeah.
Like it's like it's super just, you know, if they have I pick Lissandra if they have like Malphite top, Olaf jungle, Galio mid, I guess, and like Kaisa 80 carry or something like that. Like if they are just going all in balls to the wall, Lissandra's good. She's
Mhm.
also a really specific kind of. You have to have a good lane too, though. So it's
Yeah.
like
Not a lot of good lanes for Lissandra either. She's so short range.
yeah.
She's like
for support,
almost like worse res in terms of laning.
Who is this? Wee woo.
Turbo random. Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I'm here to
Hi,
steal
Sean.
strats.
Okay.
Jungle sub.
Oh, jungle sub.
Yeah.
I think that's all the ADCs in the game.
You got them all. Wait, unironically it is. Jeez, role is so bad. There's zero diversity in that role. Like, I could probably not name all the mid laners that are potentially viable. Like, I won't name Lux because I don't see a time I'd ever pick that.
Samira is still or for now is comp specific, right? Because there's no way to play like Samira in certain comps. Or at least I don't think there's a way to.
Yeah, Samira is like, I guess maybe red tier for that reason.
Okay.
Like she's not just super applicable, I guess, all the time.
Oh wait, what I should do?
And I don't know, is there like another mage? Not really, I guess. Swain's like the only like blue tier.
Zillion? No?
I don't know if you play it, I guess. I think that's a pocket pick though. I think that would go in the green. That's like a super pocket pick.
Okay.
Okay, have you seen the Tank Vagar thing?
Tank Vanguard? Yes, I have.
That is really strong. I tested it in one game, and my team could not be more gapped, and I still managed to just stomp the game. We lost, don't get me wrong, but it's really, really OP.
Yeah, because you scale so good because of your stacks, and then you could just
You
do a
know,
full tank.
and it's not even just his damage though. His damage, yes, his damage is good, but it's like it's just how annoying Vagar is, and building him tank gives a way just to be so cringe.
Is Pantheon ever pickable?
Counter pick at best, red tier at best.
I mean, there's like no counter picks. A lot of counter picks are AD mids, and nobody's gonna be blinding that. Even if
I'll
it,
put
I don't know.
Vagar here actually, because I don't know how to play it like really well.
Pant at least, maybe. mm, oh, Echo. I should put Echo somewhere. I mean, honestly, I think that champ's good. I'm just not good at it. But when would I pick Echo? Hello?
Every game.
Champion's broken.
Do you feel confident in blinding it?
No.
I think that he's really solid, but he's not super OP. I feel like Fizz is maybe a better Echo as a counter pick. I think Echo's a
what
better
you mean.
blind, but I think Echo's a better blind, but Fizz is a better counter pick. But I still think they both go in the red tier.
I think if I have a, well, if it needs to be AP, I'd have to pick Fizz. But if I had a chance to like counter pick a mage, I'd probably just pick Aurelia. If the comp allows it. Guys, why aren't we writing reasonings for all of them? Am I not supposed to be doing this?
Well, you can.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, it's good too. It's good to have some solid, you know. Some of them are like,
Here,
if
I'll
they're a
write.
specific counter, you know, you need to put some sort of reason. But like some things are like, you know, Bard is like just sort of all around. Alistar, there's not really much to say for Alistar. I think Rel is maybe still like a should know champion. Shit. Rel. I'll put Alistar in S tier, I guess too. I lied. Or blue tier, whatever.
Writing a pro-grad script?
Me?
No, it's just the way you said S tier. That's what I thought of.
Oh.
Apologize to all
So
of you
Thresh,
for what I
Leona,
did.
Lulu,
It
Seraphine,
was
Maokai,
very
not
wrong,
Jenna,
and I am
Rel.
very
Are
sorry.
there any
I
other
just
champions
would
that are
like to
like
move on and lead a normal life. You
just
know.
generally really OP on support?
I
Not
saw
really.
Nico support. That's actually pretty nuts.
Nico is definitely a green tier. Like that's like a strong counter. I think it's really good in certain matchups. I remember whenever they first came out, I played that bot lane with Murdos, Nico, Morgana. And I don't remember the math exactly, but I think if you perfectly chain their CCs, like with cooldowns coming up, if Morgana hits a Q first, you can
Oh.
chain CC somebody for like 13 seconds or something.
Oh, I don't know about the Morgana Nico thing. I just saw some Korean challenger dude that played Nico support with like standard ADCs, and it was actually it seemed
Yeah,
pretty
it's really
strong.
good. Yeah, I was just giving like a one random like bot lane combo that could CC forever, but
Oh,
even without it, Nico on her own just CCs for a long time and has insane burst. Dog Lightning also plays it on NA. Obviously, it's not as good as a game player, but I just know that that shit's annoying to play against.
do you really think Thresh is still gonna be meta? They
Um,
kind of dumpstered his kit.
What they do? I mean, I think you do Emax first anyways if you're good at Thresh, so because you played a hard win lane. I think it's fine. They only nerfed his E by 2 seconds at max rank. Most of the time, you're not getting off more than one flay in early fights.
True.
And once you get to later fights, it's going to be the same. And 2020, like they were like, oh, the most OP Thresh win rate is whenever people max W second. Like, yeah, no shit, because you usually do 3 and E, then max Q, then max W, because W CDR goes down the most. Some people just do Q max right off the bat, which is not great IMO for fighting.
Oh,
Anyways, point is, Thresh's Lantern is not OP because of the shield. I have never once in my entire life been playing Syndra or Annie or LeBlanc and like, oh man, Thresh's Lantern saved them because of the shield.
Yeah, no,
Thresh's
it's
Lantern's
cool.
OP because it can save Jinx from a Jarvan ulti.
Yeah, well, or like avoid a gank.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just in general, that's what makes it OP.
The amount of peel Thresh has is actually insane.
Thresh has a 99% slow, a like 4-second cooldown knockback if you're stacking CDR, and can stop jumps with his Q. And his Lantern can pull you out, so if you're immobile, you're not immobile. His kit is the best support kit in the entire game.
Yeah, as long as you're not complete doo-doo.
They have to like gut his like cooldowns, or they'd have to hard nerf his damage so that he's not a good kill lane champion. But then people would probably do some cringe like Moonstone W max shit. But it would probably be OP, so it wouldn't really matter. But anyways, oh yeah, what's the LeBlanc change? 10 damage on Q. Q total damage. Oh wow, that's nice.
Yeah, it's actually a good change.
For
I mean, 20 damage on your combo at level 2 is pretty big.
who's that one scrim team that we always play against that always plays Karthus bot?
Lemon.
Lemon.
Is it Lemon? Yeah, it's so cringe, but it's actually OP.
You just have to pick something that stomps it.
Yeah.
You can't, because he will always be relevant.
But yeah, so like I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, Karthus and Swain are the two best bot laners. Swain is like, I want to beat their bot lane. Karthus is like, I don't want their bot lane to win, because Karthus neutralizes any lane. Because think about it like this. Like, how do you beat Karthus in a solo lane? Well, like, let's say you're playing against him mid lane, you play Fissure set, you can all-in him. If you're playing against him top lane, he might beat you early, but eventually you can just face tank him and just out-heal his damage, because all bruisers can build, like, Wit's End, basically, or whatever. But whenever you put Karthus bot lane, and even aside from, like, getting to item spikes, like, in top and middle, he's just weak early in a 1v1. Like, you can kill him and walk away from his passive, that's it. And bottom lane, if you focus Karthus first, his support can just CC you and fight you in his passive and you lose.
Yep.
And if you kill the support first, well then Karthus is just like fucking you with his Q. And he's gonna kill your support faster than you can kill his support most of the times.
And then if he does lose bot lane, it doesn't matter because he just pressed R to win.
Yeah. Karthus bottom is actually better than Karthus
Everything
jungle IMO.
I will also put games into. I mean, my Qs might not be. Should I just go Emax?
After I do an ARAM, I do Emax and run it over and over.
Because my skill shots are really bad, like really bad.
I don't know why we let this guy play
You're
Ezreal.
not gonna pick that champion up. No.
I don't know why we let this guy play Ezreal.
Man, I feel like I'm forgetting supports, but whatever. That's good enough for now. Although I will add the Veigar thing. I think Veigar is a good support to have, just in
I don't know
general.
how a Chinese player can miss so many fucking skill shots, dude. It's
I'm good at
crazy.
right clicking.
Because he's not looking.
Jesus.
Can't see his monitor.
Can't clip you.
Holy fuck.
I think Brand is also a really strong support too. Especially
Yeah. I mean, again, any cheesy like mage support, just throw them in there. I mean, Brand, Zyra.
back
Although I think
Tony's.
Zyra's red because I'm pretty sure Tony actually likes Zyra.
Yeah,
Bring back
Tony
Tony Zerath.
Yo, bring back Tony Zerath, actually, unironically. That's just crazy.
So he plays Nami as well, right? I'm just going through that in the red tier. Okay, like we have like a good basis to go off of for everybody, and we can add stuff. Obviously, none of this is like set in stone. We can add and take away from this. But the point is again to make sure that we can play some of these champions, if not, all of them. So like, okay, let's say John. We're like, okay, well, John can obviously play pretty much every AD carry. I've seen him play all of these. I think that are in the blue tier. I think I've seen him play pretty much every AD carry for the most part.
Take out the
Um,
last two.
Yeah.
But then for the blue tier, yeah, exactly. For like 80 carries, I've seen him. But for mages, I've never seen John play an 80 carry other than Seraphine.
Yeah.
So, but Seraphine's also not the 8 carry. Like, so if we need damage, we probably need a Swain or Karthus. So, in my opinion, you should probably learn one of those two champions.
Okay.
Swain being again like the more like I want to win lane and then carry fights. Karthus being like I just want to AFK farm and then doesn't matter if you die or not. You can just do damage. For Ken, it's like the same thing. Well, Ken has control mages down. There's 2 control mages. There's 3, I guess. We count Victor. Victor's a control mage. I guess, I mean, to me, Ryze is like a battle mage, even though he's really not a battle mage. He's like a battle mage. But then, like, maybe we need, like, mid laners that have, I mean, I don't know. It's not like this is in Ken's champ pool, but, like, if you needed to engage, well, you could always have, like, an Annie middle, But we already talked about that. Ken is not an Annie player. Also, I think TF goes in red tier because he's, like, a meta pick. He's not like a unheard of pocket pick.
No, that's true.
He's relatively popular.
Probably
Like
doesn't sound
Zed is not
familiar.
really popular in comp, but like TF, you'll run into a TF player here and there.
Wait,
Um,
why did
Nice. It's like it's just mixed.
that's? Oh my gosh. You okay?
No.
Why is it doing that?
You could just change the highlight color at the top.
No.
Oh. Oh.
no.
So anyways,
Alright.
yeah. So like, make sure again we can check off these boxes. Now let's say we were in a different world where Corey was like massive ego, and he thought tank players were cringe, and he talked shit about people that pick tanks. Like if that would ever happen,
Never mind.
like if
No, that
Corey was
doesn't
ever
happen.
like that,
No, that doesn't happen. You're right.
if Corey was ever like that, then we would probably have to be like, okay, where our top laner refuses to play tanks, we have to have tanks. We have to like double up our tank pool in jungle and support. Anyways, that's the whole point of having this all figured out. Like, let's say we lose every single time Ken plays Lucian and I don't know.
Zoe.
We'll just say Lucian. If we're losing every single time Ken plays Lucian, well, let's look at all of our comps that we've played with Lucian. Well, whenever we have Olaf jungle, the team that I started coaching yesterday, actually, like I
Rank are they,
think I
by
already
the
said
way?
it, but they what?
What rank are they? I'm just curious.
Master tier, challenger, GM.
Oh, okay.
Well, we can take them.
That's
Oh,
good.
so around my rank.
Yeah, of
Go on.
course.
Yeah.
Their team, they drafted in this one game. Top lane doesn't matter. I don't care. Hecarim and Lucian, and they right into the game. They're like, oh, that's a good because Lucian gets prio for Hecarim. And I was like, this just isn't going to go good. I already know this is going to go bad. And I remember thinking it was going to go bad because the enemy team had a Cho'Gath. Let me put it to you this way. They 5-manned the Cho'Gath. After like 20 seconds of chasing him around top lane, he killed one person, and then their Thresh showed up and flash lanterned him, and he lived.
Oh my god.
It was embarrassing.
That's some
It was,
L9
it was
shit.
it was bad. And I'm like,
I just like.
like that didn't just happen, but it did just happen. I watched it. Well, we like a game's just unwinnable, right? Because like your comp is, I think they had a Volley Bear. No,
lost
it
to
was a different
Cho'Gath.
champion. I don't know what the fuck they had against the Cho'Gath. Oh, it was Tank Gragas. It was Tank Gragas. So they had Tank Gragas, Hecarim, Lucian, Sivir, and Karma. That entire team comp is there for Hecarim to do well. You have a mid laner to get prio for Hecarim. You have a support that wins lane, but then is completely useless. Because Karma, at the end of the day, is a buff bot, but not like Lulu buffs people and Janna buffs people. She's just movement speed. That's all she does.
Yeah.
Right? You're never. Her W is not impactful.
Minimal.
Her E is basically like a really shitty Seraphine W.
Yeah.
Her Q is completely non-impactful because unless you're going AP Karma, Karma doesn't do damage. And her W, you're an enchanter. Like when are you in 400 range of anything? So it's like,
Always.
and she doesn't have an ulti, right? Like Karma doesn't really have an ulti. Like most supports have a really OP ulti for team fights. So anyways, my point with it all was they put like all the regs in the Hecarim basket. Well, then whenever they went to go kill this Cho'Gath, it took forever to kill him because of course Hecarim is full tank.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried to explain to them, if you pick the comp you picked, can you make it work? Yeah, you have to shit stomp everybody though. You have to have mid hard win super hard. Your Hecarim has to go full damage and he has to ghost and kill the Jinx in the backline. Because like this is how you have to think about your team comps, right? If you have tank Gragas and tank Hecarim, are either of them true tanks? No. They're just building tanky items on champions that are not at all tanks. Now you have Cho'Gath. Is Cho'Gath a true tank? Yes, he is a massive wall. So can Sivir and Lucian kill full tank Cho'Gath faster than Jinx and Orianna are going to kill your bruisers with tanky builds? No, you're never going to win the frontline battle. Cho'Gath is literally both of your frontliners combined, and he's been eating protein shakes for like every day of his life since he was 1 year old. Like he is so built, he's so jacked. He walked at them, and they just like could not do anything.
Fell apart.
Like
What was Lucian's
yeah,
build?
his gravity started pulling them in. Like it was just doomed.
Durality.
Like Miss Peach was running at them.
What was
It was-
Lucian's build? Out of curiosity, did he have LDR? Or did it just not matter? Is he like?
I don't think it
Kraken
mattered. I think
LDR?
both AD carries had
IE?
it, and it just didn't matter.
Unlucky.
And like they had champions that could have built different. If your Gragas went AP, maybe he's a little bit more. Even then though, Gragas is just so useless as a top laner. And then if Cho'Gath had divine, if Hecarim had divine Sunder, they would have killed him in that 5-man for 20 seconds. But anyways, I digress. My point is, we need to be able to go through our comps, make sure we have things that can fill things out. If we're losing every time Ken picks Lucian, I've seen Ken pick Lucian. He wins lane every time he picks Lucian. But if you're not winning, there's a reason you're not winning. And that's where what I said before comes in. You're never going to be good as a team. You're never going to win as a team if you keep on forcing things that aren't working.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you are blatantly dog shit at something, just don't play it. So far, I haven't seen anybody be blatantly dog shit at something. I've seen people be inconsistent in the top lane.
Delete this champion.
I've seen top laners be decently inconsistent on some things, like dying level 1 after shit talking.
Huh? What do you mean?
Oh no no
I think
no
it's
no
Graves
no!
whenever you're playing volleyball.
Yeah, you goddamn right it was. You're weird thinking of the same thing too.
Yeah.
Was that yesterday?
No, that was like
no.
2 or 3 months ago.
It was when we were screaming Maroon. Remember? You played HCK and you were complaining about his Graves pick. Yeah, God, his
Dude,
fucking
I was.
ego.
No, I was fucking beating Graves. I swear I was.
You got killed level 1.
Nah, I was. Well,
Yeah,
okay,
so anyways, we
Go
want
on.
to like just
dude, I
get
was
our things
winning.
together and then think like from this list, I will add a jungler. Okay,
Jarvan.
from this list.
I knew it.
From this list, let's make a team comp right now. Malphite, Jarvan, Orianna, Tristana, Thresh, because those are just the top picks. Now Ken wants to play Lucian this game. Okay, well if we pick Lucian with this comp, first thing right away we're lacking magic damage.
So
Malphite
we-
does a good amount of magic damage, but how can we make that up?
Graves.
We could have an AP jungler or an AP bot laner, or at least like Kai'Sa bot lane. Maybe Kai'Sa, maybe I don't know. Okay, I haven't seen it in a long time. I don't know if there's any AP builds you can do on Kai'Sa right now.
Nashor?
I'd be happy to theory craft that with you and see if we find anything else.
Oh, he
But
found
that,
it.
aside from that, there's also supports we could take, or maybe they don't even have a tank champion on their team, right? So it doesn't really matter. You know, but maybe I don't know. I'm not really sure what we could slot in or out. Like if we had it in our pool, we could immediately move up something from the support tier. Tristana probably wants to kill lane support, but what we could do is take Caitlyn AD carry with Zyra support. Suddenly we have a really strong source of AP. We have a strong winning bot lane. Our Lucian mid wants prio, right? He wants to win early. Well, now we have a really strong bot side. We already have a tank top. We can leave the tank top. Jungle can play perma bot side the entire game, and we get every dragon because we have Zyra, Caitlyn bot lane, right? Suddenly we have a really, really strong comp.
Mm-hmm.
Now we swap the Lucian out for, I don't know, Victor. I don't know. Then maybe we want to keep the comp the same. We could take a better frontline support because you know Zyra and Victor don't have the most synergy necessarily. It's more like you're winning through brute force. Like you have a shit ton of damage, and who do they focus? If they focus Zyra, Victor wins. If they focus Victor, well, Zyra gets off her full combo, and they probably all die anyways.
Victor Rel?
Say that again.
Victor Rel?
Yeah, Victor Rel would be good. That'd be a good combo. Like there's certain things we can look for. Like if we want to switch things out, we just need to have an answer with our other roles. Now let's take like another random comp. I don't know. We have. Okay, this is something that I saw in my solo queue game earlier, and I thought about this. Like I think about this a lot. What do you do whenever you have Urgot top, but you have like a Caitlyn bot lane? Well, that's tough because what does Caitlyn want to do? She wants to push and take plates. What does Urgot want to do? But it doesn't matter what Urgot wants to do. He literally has to push because of his passive. If you have that, you're in a really, really weird situation.
Because both champs want
Because you have to help your laners. It'd be like taking... You know, taking Urgot top is like taking Jace top. You cannot leave the champion on an island.
I have a question.
Yes.
Could stuff like that work if you have like a really heavy roaming mid laner? Like if you have like Twisted Fate or Galio that can like
The thing is I feel like those lanes, like not... Galio's not a good roamer. He's only good at reacting to plays with his ulti.
Sure.
TF can go... I mean, because, you know, if they're overextended bot lane, TF can go and, you know, go punish them, immediately kill him. Galio's not like that. He's good at skirmishing, he's good at, like, you know, fighting fights, but he's not good at just forcing a fight. He's only good at reacting to fights. You could go and 4-man dive bot lane or top lane with a Galio ulti with your jungler, but you cannot simply, you know,
Calm your fucking tits.
you cannot,
Alright guys, we go here.
like, hard force as much. You know.
We don't want to give
That makes a lot of sense because like if you have 3 aggressive lanes, your jungler can choose whichever lane to counter counter gank, whatever. But then that means like the enemy jungler will have like so many options to pick from, like whether they want to
Exactly,
gank
and
lane.
if you have a lot of aggressive lanes, you know, there's like a general rule in League. If your champion's really strong early, they're probably not as strong later.
Yes.
To some extent. Now again, it's like going back to Lucian. Lucian does not actually fall off. It's just like Garen doesn't really fall off. The reason that champions like Renekton, Garen, and Lucian fall off is
To get
because it's hard for them to get out their damage. In the case of Lucian, he's just short range. In the case of Garen and Renekton, if you've ever seen a glass cannon Renekton or Garen, you know they will one-shot you. They will literally one-shot you no matter what, unless you're maybe like a full tank. If you're even just a tanky bruiser, a full damage like 100% glass cannon Renekton or Garen will kill you in like 3 seconds. If you're an AD carry, you're dead before you get out of the stun.
Welcome to ADC.
Now, the reason they fall off is because you usually can't build them glass cannon because in a team fight they get one shot.
Yeah.
Now, all of that said, that's just like a,
What's up?
you know, going off the path. My point is, if you're really strong early, you probably fall off. Or you at least are really hard to get back in the game with. Urgot is kind of like Lucian in the sense that like he scales extremely hard, but if Urgot is behind, what can he do? If you just keep on forcing on him, that's why tanks are so good against Urgot if you gank for them, right? Because Urgot's going to naturally push. I can tell you now from my point of view, if I see an Urgot, I always lock in Maokai, and I tell my jungler, gank my lane. If their jungler's here first, I leave. That's it. Like that. And if I get ahead on Maokai, I'm going to force over and over. So, if we pick 3 super ultra strong lanes, and we're just pushing to tower over and over again, we're going to lose the game. Because their jungler is going to come top, and then top, and then top, and then top, and then top, and your top lane is useless. Now his champion has no way to get back in the game. Or whatever other lane he's in, he can. Now, that's not to say that we can't pick 3 winning lanes, because you can. But you don't want 3 lanes that are going to auto-shove to tower and die. And so, like, what do we mean by that? Well, let's say we get Gnar in a good matchup top. Gnar does not have to push. Gnar can freeze on his side because he's a ranged top laner. Same thing with Jace, right? You should be playing to your Jace, but that's not the point. Let's not get into, like, the super nuanced things. If we have Caitlyn is always going to want to push the tower and take plates. But if we have Tristana in a winning lane, we can shove and do stuff on the map because she shoves so fast and she's so mobile that Tristana can always get out of a bad situation. Right? And in mid lane, the thing about mid lane, it's like, yeah, Lucian needs to dash in to punish, but what about other winning mid matchups? So let's say they take Azir and you take Xerath, right? That was like the classic counter pick with Western. That's what Ian liked a lot. Ian loved Xerath into Azir. Because Azir cannot do anything about a super high range artillery mage, and they have a really similar power scaling. Obviously, Azir out DPSs Xerath in a 5v5, but Xerath pokes you out before you even get to the 5v5. So that said,
Not even close.
you can counterpick in certain ways where you completely neutralize your opponent without having to force the win.
Right. Like
So let's-
Lucian.
Yeah, so like we can give our top laner, you know, Malphite against Riven. And Malphite can smack Riven around and just shit on her, but at the same time you could also just sit under your tower and scale. And that's what we would do if we had 3 really hard winning lanes. But now, like what you were saying, John, if we have the 3 lanes that are shoving, then yeah, we're probably going to lose. You always want a lane that can play back. Whether it's a winning lane or a losing lane, it can play back. That's something that we have to, you know, get a hold of, right? And it's like one of our basics.
So kind of like
I don't know. I run out of I run out of energy. I run out of will to live saying this so much. But if your jungler's making a play bottom, you're not dying top. Like it's just process of elimination. If your jungler is doing something bot side, or we have wards in any jungle bot side, their jungler has to be doing something top. Either he's rift, he's counter jungling, he's farming his camps, or he's ganking you. It's one of those 4 things. Odds are he wants to look for a play. I mean that goes for everybody else. Like if we're
Right.
3-man diving top, yeah, Ken maybe like his lane is roaming and maybe it's his lane, his responsibility, but we should also know like, okay, our team is doing something top, we should be on tower, or we should knock all the way up. Give them 2 plates.
Wait, so like you mentioned a thing with like lanes that can like they're winning but like they can push back. Is it kind of like, you know how you can like lose gracefully? Is it also just like winning passively? If that makes sense?
Yeah, it's winning without forcing. It's like it's winning. It's not your opponent hard losing the lane, it's just you winning the lane through your own conditions or means. Like if you're playing a champion that outscales the enemy champion, you know, again, like if you get, it's hard to think of a specific matchup right now. Let's say Fizz against Syndra or Fizz against TF. You have to win that lane. You have to kill the lane. You have to beat your opponent. You know what I mean? As opposed to just like playing it out, zoning them, or whatever. Fizz needs to snowball to be useful, right? To some degree.
But if I'm playing like
Um,
Lucian, I can kind of
If you're playing Lucian, you can zone. If you don't have to dash in, right?
Right.
Depends on the matchup, of course.
yeah.
Yeah. Like if you're playing Tristana, you have no choice. You have to shove. That's what the champion does. You cannot let unless you just don't level your E. which is a strat.
It was a strat.
W start.
Because
Target.
good Tristana's don't ever level their E level 1.
Yep.
Unless there's a reason to push, obviously.
That's how you identify bad Tristanas. You look at how the first minion does.
Yeah. Unless,
Well-
like I said, there's a really specific, like if they want to push things in, but like if I tell Tristana I'm ganking your lane level 2, they probably shouldn't level their E. W is better anyways in a fight, so
No. It's okay because then you level your E, you push the wave, and then you dive them at level 2, 5 head.
5 head.
So, like, even 2-wave crashes like, are so fucking shit unless you're going for a really crazy invid. I don't know, man. There's never any reason to push the first wave.
And then when you dive them under tower, you proxy them.
Even though I do that sometimes too.
Yeah, PTR's Gnar is good if
I really like Jinx right now because
if the easy
her
method.
trading is so like forgiving. Like you're so far away from them, like you don't take any, or you
Wait,
usually
who?
don't take any damage, and then
She's just fine
you
versus
just get free damage,
everything.
Jinx,
Oh.
because of her range.
Hmm. I could have said who asked, but I actually
Yeah,
wanna
no,
know who.
No, I actually knew.
Okay. So, if there's any more questions and things, feel free to ask. I'm just gonna think about more junglers and stuff to add. And like I said, this is like a permanently evolving list, right? But it's
Jungle plays Elise, Kindred, and Zinzao. I know he plays those. I don't know where they'd come
like
out.
okay. So for jungle, then, well, let's think like okay, you need your early game strong junglers, like early game like farm heavy, like Olaf Udyr, fill that. I think Olaf is only good as a counter. I think that Udyr is like the better Olaf that you could blind, basically. Then you have like your team fight
Jungle
junglers. What are
plays
team fight
Poppy too.
junglers?
Ooh,
Like
Poppy is
J4 is
Poppy
Zach,
pick.
Hecarim.
Yeah, J4 Zach Hecarim.
I already have his
Um,
down now.
And then you have like
Right.
your early game like turbo gankers. Jarvan is also an early game ganker, but maybe not like gank only. I mean, the only true gank only jungler is like Elise. But for that reason, we're putting her in the S tier. She is a champion that like you should know how to play her. Oh, Rek'Sai. Rek'Sai is like the AD Elise basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then we would have like pocket picks. Pocket picks would be shit like I'm not saying this dude plays it, but like if he played Master Yi, you could have that in amateur games. You know, he plays. I don't know.
Kindred.
If he plays Kindred, then that's an S tier pick. If he's good at Kindred.
Okay.
Would Lilia be significant as well?
I forgot about that. Champ.
Yeah, I think
completely forgot about that
Lilia's
champ, actually.
Lilia's pretty strong, but it's just it's a matter of how good the player is with it. I honestly first time Lilia today. And ranked, Fiddlesticks was banned. Enemy team had Poppy. I had double AD on my team. And I was like, well, I could play Elise, but I mean, even Elise fucking sucks into Poppy because of her W. So I just first time to Lilia. Champion's really strong, stronger than I thought. I guess everybody just sucks dick at her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the same with like every single Udyr player that I've ever seen.
true actually.
Yeah.
Udyr is supposed to be so broken, but then like you press tab and Udyr
Nobody
has like
knows how to
50 CS at 10 minutes.
Yeah, I actually
Wow.
played Lilia against Nudia in one of the games, and I was up like 50 CS at like 15 or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
it
know.
Just eclipsed.
A broken jungler, but
I think
nobody
people
knows
just
how
don't
to
know
play
how
it.
to path.
They do not. That's accurate.
I don't know
Okay,
how clear.
junglers. Jarvan, Udyr, Hecarim, Volibear, Zac, Skarner, Elise, Rek'Sai, Kindred, Lilia. Something's missing from that list.
Gragas.
Gragas is like red tier, I think, at best.
No,
If
missing
not
from
green.
that
I think
list.
Gragas jungle feels really iffy. I think it's super like
Kane.
if he plays Kane, that could
no,
go
he
red
doesn't
tier, I
play
guess.
Kayn.
Oh, I guess this isn't like his list though. This is like our list of
Oh
champions
no,
that are
this
just
is
playable.
his
So we'll
list.
put it down, I guess.
Volibear.
Oh, these are
Volibear's
champs he
No.
plays. But...
Well, I'm just listing champions in general though, that
Oh,
are
right,
like
right,
you know
right.
strong, playable, you know whatever.
Pan.
Shyvana.
I mean, because like looking at Corey's thing, it's like some of these champions. I personally have never seen Corey play Urgot or Camille or Wukong, I think,
He's played Camille. I've seen him.
or Yorick. Yeah, he maybe
Camille,
has, but I
Pepe
don't think
Love.
I've seen it.
Pepe love. No, no, no.
Maybe that's good from what you guys are saying.
No.
No, good that I haven't seen it. Good that I
Yeah.
have not seen it. Oh, Nunu. Nunu's a jungler. Nunu's
Oh, yeah,
god.
I can play Nunu.
Yeah, Mac Camille's really good, dude.
But is Nunu actually like should know like for comp? I think so. I think that he's on the
He's
same
one of
tier as
those
these other
ganked heavy
champions. Yeah. I think Sedge is also
Oh yeah, Sedge
pretty
as well.
strong,
That's
personally.
one. Especially
Nunu
if
is
I'm playing
crazy
like
good.
Aurelia, Yon, it's so good. Even Galio.
If you can
too.
ever have a good matchup with Renekton
Oh, yeah,
and you have a Sejuani on your team, you cannot lose the game because Renekton's red W is just pretty much instant Sejuani stun.
Nunu is crazy nuts for like teams that don't respect jungle ganks.
Yeah, it is. It's really good if you have like a weak lane with a lot of CC. Like if you have a heavy CC bot lane against a pushing bot lane,
Yeah.
super strong.
Swain can pull off any CC, right?
Yeah.
Correct. Any like immobilizing CC, yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's good to know.
If they
What
know
about
move.
Kha'Zix?
Kha'Zix is really OP, but is he really OP in
Oh, look,
comp?
Nope. The last time we played against one, he actually could not do anything.
I'm gonna say red tier, like maybe good as like a certain counter. Like if they take Olaf, you take Kha'Zix. Like 100%. That's like an
Oh
insta
yeah.
lock.
Yeah.
That's a really sad matchup.
Pepela.
Why is it? Because the invisibility and he
Because
can't
yeah,
out-
whenever Olaf is like low, you try to burst down the Olaf, get him to like half, and then you start using your ultis. Because while
He kills them.
whenever Olaf has like increased healing, increased attack speed, blah blah blah, you're just not letting him attack.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Kha'Zix wins any like extended duels against pretty much any champion, especially if they don't have a reveal.
Pick Karma, doomed.
Nocturne?
Oh, Nocturne, I think.
You say Nocturne? Yeah, Nocturne's like red tier for both of you. I'm pretty sure.
Wait, why is Fiddlesticks not in here?
I don't know how good Fiddle is in comp, but I feel like at this level he honestly could be good. So I'm gonna put Fiddle as like a pocket pick, maybe. Well, okay, the green thing is like personal pocket picks. Whatever, I'll just put it there. Like Champ said, he could learn, maybe should learn.
What about Warwick?
Damn it, pickaxe. What the fuck?
I think Warwick is pretty average.
Silly, I think.
Oh, I don't know how to work. It's a little
Are
broken.
you calling Dibble a fucking mouth breather, dude? Hello?
Yeah, true actually, but
I don't know. Am I?
What about Mumu with his like crazy team fight?
Pepega. Nunu, Amumu is like the Annie of jungle. It's like only good. if
I'll
you
actually
verse-
put it on there. And again, because the green isn't like you should know this, but it's like just suggestions on like potential pocket picks we could get. Again, I don't really expect Corey to learn these top laners. Other than Trundle, I do expect him to learn Trundle for sure. I don't expect the other ones, but if you were interested in learning them and trying them out in certain matchups, I mean,
Yeah, I'll just shit on you in some 1v1s. It's fun.
good luck.
Pepe laugh. Nobody tell him.
You act like you didn't get embarrassed in the Trundle Mar game.
Yeah.
You literally got like flashed over your W and you said okay.
I can hear him. I can literally
Literally in
hear
all chat.
him.
No, just he all chatted okay.
Yeah, I know. I
After
can
flashed
hear
over-
him though.
Yeah.
Like one of those things you type and you like can manifest it. You just hear them say it.
Ulti trade's really good for him. His ulti's way
Dude.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
No chink.
Huh?
No chink.
John.
So I think this is like okay to start with for now.
Okay, John.
Um,
Enough of that, dude.
Aren't there more mid laners that are like meta? Maybe not.
Dude,
It's
everyone's
like-
so bad. I swear. I feel like
Okay.
okay, the road's not bad, but like I feel like the way mid is right now, there's like very few good champions because I feel like every other champion's been kind of nerfed into the dirt. So like the champs that are good right now are all like the old champions, like Ori, Syndra, Victor, blah blah blah.
Oh, what do you think?
I mean,
about
there's like off meta things like Nocturne and Renekton too. What's up, John?
What do you think about the Oriana nerf or like Ken because he plays it?
Is it an
So-
upcoming one?
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
an
think it really
upcoming one.
matters.
E
Doesn't
bonus
matter.
resist. Yeah, that's cream.
It doesn't really matter.
It is the last thing you max, but like again,
It's
I
like
think Oriana. It gives like it's one of
think
those
about
buffers.
it-
Like it gives them a little bit more wiggle room, but it's not a nerf, you know.
the way you should think about it is 4 less base armor, basic. 4 less base armor and Mar. Because like Ori's E, basically her base stats for like most
Look
games.
at that big ass Cassiopeia buff.
Honestly, I don't really
Uh-huh.
care because they didn't nerf the shield amount. Like, Ori and lane, like with E-trading is still gonna be good because like you don't really like the resists don't matter as much.
Oh.
Oh yeah, Seraphine, true. Thanks, Sean.
What other mid laners? I mean, everything else would be like a pocket pick at this point. Like I said, it's things like Zillion if you
What
ever
about
wanted to learn
Seraphine?
that.
Diana.
Kassadin, Seraphine. I mean, do you play her? I thought that just always goes to Tony.
My jungler
I-
does appear to be
I mean,
having
like
a
if it's
mental
champions that
explosion.
would be good, I think Seraphine's pretty good. I just don't
True.
play her.
I think Seraphine goes in the red then. I think last things we can put mid lane are Sarah, Cass. Zillion can go green if you ever want to learn that. Support, Zillion. Actually, I
What
think
about Anivia?
support, maybe Zillion's like red tier almost, because it's like, it's a pretty solid support. Who?
Anivia.
Do you play Anivia at all?
No.
Well, we can put her anyways, because she's just really good, I guess.
Okay.
Alright, John.
Yeah, Anivia's maybe the most elo inflated champion in League of Legends,
I
I have
agree.
decided.
I agree. Hard agree.
Yeah, even
Do you
I
guys
Oh,
have
also
Senatong?
Diana is really good. Say that again?
What do you say, Sean?
Should you do Senatong, or is that just too difficult for this bracket?
Too difficult, I think. I think certain combos are just like. I don't think Tom Kinch isn't allowed to lock in.
It's
DK is illegal. Oh no no no.
You know, be able to bench 400 and hit challenger 2k LP, and then Tom
it-
Kinch can be locked in.
it's doable for us, but like the biggest issue I think we have is that Tony buys the support item and I buy an AD item start, so like it doesn't work out.
Yeah, I mean, I would just rather have Senna with a useful champion. Tom Kinch is so fucking useless.
No, we're talking about like fasting, no?
Oh,
Okay.
well, I think he
Yeah.
specifically said Senna Tom, right? Yeah, fasting is good. I think fasting is really OP.
Yeah.
Just play
It's
with any
we
tank
just
tank
buy the
champion.
support items.
Hunter doesn't really play any fasting champs, so. Like besides.
Apparently, I
some-
heard Senna Cho'Gath was good.
Dear God, I think the general who plays
Should
that
then
should be
send a
shot on
Nasus.
sight.
It's OP.
Is it?
He's
I could
so
see it.
tilted.
Yeah, do that NASA slow.
No, like actually, if I catch you playing
Oh.
Senna Cho'Gath in my game, you should be shot on sight. I'm just gonna
Why?
say
Why
it.
is it bad?
It's not
why is it
bad. You
bad?
should just be shot on sight for playing that.
Why? Is
Like-
it's really good or what?
You're just a disgusting human being.
Why is
You
he
know?
not walking up?
I guess.
What do you
I mean,
mean?
like, I
you
feel
guess? Silence.
If you just
Actually makes
play,
no
if you just play Tristana, you just dumpster them.
Why I really wouldn't walk
No.
up.
Is that
Cho'Gath's
true?
broken.
Yes, it's
Huh.
absolutely true. Tristana Rel, and then they're dead. They go bye bye.
He doesn't even have anything in base. In base war.
Oh wait, did we put Nara? Oh, we did. Wait, what about you already have Malphite's literally the first champion. Wait, where's Aatrox? There's no Aatrox. Where would Aatrox go?
Fuck, that guy was like AFK. I have to check. I actually have to check in the box. What the fuck just happened right there?
Also Silas.
Aatrox is definitely a blue tier for top lane.
Also
Is
Silas.
I
Is
read
Rizzo
Silas.
Wait, where?
In
And
I
you
competitive,
think
practice,
Aatrox is a red tier
Polygon.
for mid lane if you want to include it, but again, it's
I
like
actually like Aatrox. I could.
actually maybe that's a green tier because that's a pretty pocket
Oh,
pick
it's,
thing, right?
yeah, it's a counter pick. No, it's definitely green tier.
yeah,
Wait, what did I just?
like a really
say?
specific pick.
Diana.
I pretty much
Yeah, I
caught
think
up.
Diana's OP. The team I was coaching, I checked in there before I came here, and their jungler was trying to convince people that tank Diana's really OP, but they saw somebody in solo queue with like a 77% win rate on it, and it might actually be. It looked really strong.
wait for
Into
top
bot
lane.
Yeah, the dude had like
Wait a
Titanic,
minute.
Oh, Lotto,
Titanic,
thoughts on Akali?
Crossfire Gauntlet,
Sorry,
Tank
didn't mean to
Boots,
cut you.
and Serpent's Fang.
She already has high base damage. Is that
Wait,
why?
I want to try that. Fuck.
What'd you say, Ken?
Thoughts on Akali?
Broken.
Probably green tier. I don't know if she's like a key.
Yeah. She's like, she only provides damage, right? and like she needs to have a good matchup mid because she's so abusable now because her Q.
Yeah, I think
godforsaken.
I think she's green tier. Or no, I'm sorry, red tier. Not quite green, but red. We're gonna probably have to make the dock a little bit longer because running out of space.
My champ pool is just too big. I know.
Because there's too many mid lane champions.
Yeah, my role.
Roles too diverse. Just too
Yeah.
OP.
I just have too much given to me, really. Unironically, mid literally does, like just plays every champ. Like, I could play any champ in the game mid. I'll play Yuumi mid.
I mean, like I said, it's pretty damn diverse because you can play top laner. Anything that can go top can go mid. Like
Can go
that's
mid,
that's
yeah.
already a thing. Anything that gets
I mean,
played,
mid laner just failed
any
top laners.
enchanter almost can go mid. Well, not any enchanter, but I guess quite a few strong enchanters can go mid. Seraphine, I mean, maybe not in the current meta, but Seraphine, Sona, Soraka, Lulu, Karma have all been mid laners.
Oh, right.
Sona.
Where do you
yeah,
think Karma's pickable? You did say Sona. Hey, what do you think Karma's pickable to?
Like where in the mid lane, like in what matchups, or like in what lane can we pick Karma?
Matchups. Mid.
You pick her for your comp, not the enemy comp. If you're trying to like super neutralize a lane, you could pick her.
That's what I was thinking, because like I remember like having to play that Ori matchup, and it's like you actually just do nothing. It's so boring. And like just buff ADC, but like no ADC
Corey, I'll
would
put it in
be,
teal chat.
like no ADC would be good enough to capitalize
what in teal chat,
on
sorry?
like the broken shields. But I feel like now that Athene's is gone, it's not as good.
Oh, okay. You already knew what I was thinking about. See. What the fuck?
Now
Look at
that
the
Athene's-
damage charts.
What the fuck?
I
What?
already see what's gonna happen. My fucking.
Ew, what is that?
Against the Kled?
Yeah, and the
Against
yeah against Fog too.
What
Yeah,
the
and Fog is
fuck?
really good at club. That's his second best champ for sure.
What the fuck?
Oh no! Don't be deceived. That was Ivern top, I think.
No shot.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but the way the scoreboard was set up, it was Ivern top.
It
I
is
don't know
Iron
though.
Top. Cloud has Ignite. And
Well,
Ivern
Fog
has
also
TP.
runs Ignite on Cloud top, I'm pretty sure. But I'm assuming it was. I mean, because I run TP on Ivern middle and a lot of Clouds run Ignite. But even with that,
Exploding.
I think yeah. There's one way to figure this out.
Split.
Look at the
Queued
kill
up,
map.
boy.
I was actually gonna look at the runes.
That too.
Ivern brought MR, but that doesn't help.
He did not die around top lane once.
Who,
Yeah.
Diana?
No,
I mean,
Ivern.
Fog. Hmm.
He played against Tempest.
But anyways, just food for thought. Things like this is what I mean by like pocket picks. Like it's completely like
Bad for some reason.
non-meta,
What the fuck?
and it's just something you can consider having. And now, there's like the thing of okay, but what does tank Diana like with Gragas? What does tank Diana do that other tanks don't do better? Well, she does a lot more damage, but she's less good at locking them down, right? But the thing about it is you're not playing her to. She's not a tank like Maokai or Ornn in the sense that she's there to like hard engage or hard disrupt. Actually, she has super hard engage, so I take that back. She has extremely hard engage because her ulti is insane.
ER, yeah.
She's trading out long-term CC like Maokai has for a much more mobile threat. Because let's say you play X, Y, or Z tank against Vayne, or Lucian, or Ezreal, or Tristana, or whoever, they just jump away and you can't do anything. Or even if they're not mobile, what if it's just Jinx with like a speed up from her Karma? You can't really do much. But with Diana, you can jump on their backline, ulti them in, and then just keep on following them with your dashes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's in a way she's not a tank that's there because by definition a tank is something that is extremely hard to kill, so you don't want to focus fire them, but they need to give you a reason not to kill them. So this would be like Mundo. Like Mundo doesn't provide any CC, but he disrupts because he will literally kill your AD carry in like 4 seconds if you just get to auto attack them. Diana's like that, but even more mobile.
Goddamn.
Meanwhile, we're 6 item ADC. We're doing 30 damage and auto attack.
Cringe.
John, shut up. Your roll is broken.
Yeah, John's like, why don't I do damage? But he has like Immortal Shield Bow, Bloodthirster,
Gale Force
Mortal
somehow.
Reminder. Yeah, he goes both non-damage
Yeah, that's what I'm
mythics.
saying. Like, yeah, somehow has Gale Force.
No, John listens to advice. He stopped building like a cream. I've seen him run PTA on Kaisa every time.
True.
He was already
see.
doing
Let's
that.
look up his name that I can't say. because that's racist.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy goes damage. Like, he doesn't even go inspiration secondary on Jinx because he's online. He knows. Like, even on Vayne, he doesn't even go Ravenous on Vayne. Like, that's... Oh my gosh, this guy knows.
It depends. Like if I know
You're
it's an
gonna say
unplayable
John's
lane.
your favorite little duckling. Like, you don't have
Like,
to hide it.
If I'm against a comp where it's like 3 tanks and I know I'm gonna go Ginsu's, then I'll go Ravenous because that's a lot of healing off her W.
Yeah. No, I just
But,
like
like,
the
Blood up.
better.
What?
Is John your favorite?
Favorite. I think my favorite is Tony because he seems like the most mature. Although he makes childish jokes.
Don't make childish.
Yeah, exactly. You all do. Exactly. You all have childish humor.
Say dumb stuff.
Tony seems the most reasonable. Like, if I was like,
Okay.
if I was to hang out with you individually, all of you individually around my family, I'd be the least embarrassed by Tony.
Oh, okay, true. I mean,
Oh,
I
yeah,
wouldn't
that's
speak like this.
He's the least cringe. How about that?
Okay, well, okay, that's
Wait,
fair.
what about me? What the fuck?
Yeah, Corey.
You're Canadian and Portuguese. My mom would hate you because of Kyle. Sorry.
God damn it.
You're just collateral damage.
Sad.
Even the same last name. So peace.
Same
Oh,
last
wait,
name.
true.
Yeah.
That's so creepy, actually.
Not my
I hated
actual
someone
last name though.
Raposo,
It's just like a second one.
right? Oh, you have like a hyphenate, like a Mexican. You got a hyphenated last name.
My actual last name's German.
Okay.
9.
Stugenfelter. Yeah.
What are you even
Yeah.
saying, guys?
Do you have a last name with an umlaut on it?
No.
Oh, then never mind. Doesn't even count. It's just whatever.
This is Schnell. It means fast.
How come you're so slow?
Next fast. Literally fast. Next.
Yo,
Fast.
Ken, I've seen your fucking dodging skills in League, right, dude? Don't talk about slow.
I've seen your brain. I've seen how you lane.
Shit.
Alright, well I think the donk is
Oh, where would? Oh wait, you have Jace. Oh, would GP go anywhere here? Out of curiosity,
Okay.
or is the
GP
champions
is
too hard?
like I was gonna say if you're like super good at GP, he's like up there, but that's not I wouldn't include him as like an S tier pick for a team at this level, I think. Or like as a should know pick, I guess.
Okay.
That's almost like pocket pick tier. Yeah, like for sure, that's like pocket pick tier. It's like if you got really good at it, it's a good pocket pick.
Alright.
I feel like it's
I'm going to
good blind, no?
I'm gonna leave y'all.
Alright, later, Ska.
Peace, bro.
Bye, Corey.
And GP is a good blind if you're really good at him. At the same time, again, like if you're against somebody that has like Jace or Lucian in their pocket, then
True.
GLHF. Also Kale. Kale shits on it after she gets 6. Although I think a really good GP gets such a lead pre-6 that Kale can't do much. But that's like this is like our good general list for now.
Okay.